In this video, I will show you how to add a team member showcase to your Shopify store quickly and easily. The first thing that we need to do is open up Elfsight. This is the tool that we will be using to build the widget, and I've linked it in the description below. Go ahead and click on that link and it will take you straight over to this page. This link also ensures that everything connects properly when we embed it. From here, just enter your email into this box to sign up for free, and then on this next page, create your password. Just like that, we are signed up and ready to go. Okay, so from here, once we have access to Elfsight and we have access to all of the Elfsight widgets, the widget that we are specifically looking for is the team member showcase. Now, the best way to find this, the easiest way to find this, is to go to search widgets in this top corner, and we simply want to search for team. And once we search that, as you can see, the team showcase is now going to show up. So we want to go ahead and click into this. And once this loads up, we can now go through and choose the template that we would like to use. So we have a few different templates in here, like we have a music band template, we have a teachers template, a team roster template, a barbers template. Honestly, it doesn't really matter which template you use because all of these are completely customizable. The layout, the colors, the text, the images, everything is completely customizable. So we can go ahead and select one of these and then click continue with this template. And in here, in the content area, this is now where we want to go through and replace the default team members with our own team members. So the way that we do this, we have two options. We can either go in and edit what is currently there and just change this to be our own team members. So for example, if I add myself, I can change the name to Riley Holden, just like this. We can then say founder and CEO. We can go down and write in a biography right here that's going to show up if people click on see info. We can then change the image. In here, in groups, I'll come back to this in a second, how we arrange all of these different groups. But essentially, we can go down, add in like contact information for everybody, the social media profiles, and some additional information down here. Now, when it comes to the groups, the way that we actually sort this out and the way that we categorize these different groups is we first of all just want to come to the main content area and scroll down to groups right here. Then inside of groups, down here, we can create all of these different groups. Right now we have leadership, marketing, product, and support, but we can add or just change the name of these groups. And then if we want to reorder them, we can simply switch, for example, marketing above leadership. And now this is going to show up at the top. So we just simply click and drag and we can rearrange these. Then once we have the groups created, what we can then do for each of these team members is select which group they are in. So that's how we can set this up. Of course, that's if you want to edit, but we can also go ahead and delete all of the team members in here. And then we can just add a new member and fill all of their information in if we are starting from scratch. Now going down to the bottom again, we can also come in here and we can choose if we want the widget title and what this is going to say. So we can turn this on or off. Maybe we can say something like, "You're in good hands. Meet our team." Just like this. So you can, as I say, you can change this to be whatever you want it to say. We can also add a call to action if we would like to. So down here, if we want to add like job applications or take people over to LinkedIn, we can add the call to action right there. We can choose the title, the button text, and then we can add a button link right here as well. We can also choose if we want to add a search bar, and this is going to allow people to come in and search for specific people. So that's an option as well, mainly if you have a bigger team. And that is the content section. We can then come down to the layout area right here, and we can choose the layout of this and how this is going to look. So I think this one looks actually really awesome. I like this. With the width, don't play around with this. Leave it as it is. Otherwise, it's going to really mess up the dimensions. We can then choose how the text is going to be aligned, and that's the layout. We can then go over to the style, and in here, this is where we can play around with the colors and fonts. So we can choose like the text color, for example. We can choose the font that we want to use for this. Default is just going to use your Shopify font. So this is the one I would recommend. We can then go to like the widget background, and we can change the main background of this to fit your website. We can go to the widget title and play around with the colors. You get the idea. You just want to go into this area and play around with the colors to make this fit your website. Now, once you have your team member showcase created, all we then have to do is click on publish. And Elfsight is then going to take us over to this screen where we can now choose a plan. Now, the plan that you go for is going to depend on how many monthly views your Shopify store gets. So for example, with Basic, we can get up to 5,000 monthly views. With Pro Plan, we can get up to 50,000 and so on and so forth. With this free plan, this is awesome if you just want to test Elfsight out or if you have like a really small website. But keep in mind that this is pretty limited with only 200 monthly views and it comes with Elfsight branding. So if you actually want to put this live and on your website, I'd recommend going with one of these paid plans, whichever one matches up to the amount of views that you get. Once you have selected your plan, Elfsight is then going to give us this piece of code. And this code is how we are going to embed the widget onto your Shopify store. So all we need to do is click on copy code and then go over to the Shopify editor. In the editor, we want to add a section, and the section that we want to add is called custom liquid. So we can type this in and add custom liquid. And then from here, we just go over to the liquid code and paste in the code that we just copied. After a few seconds, just like this, the team member showcase is now going to load in. And that is how you can add a team member showcase to your Shopify store.